Top down morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the custom card review. So, before we get into it, little disclaimer. I tried to think of different stories, but nothing popped up in my own head. So that's why I'm making this short, or making these custom cards for you all. So, the archetype that we will be looking over is 3D slicing, or slicer. And each card represents different things. It's like 3D printing type thing. So we'll go over the monsters first, then spells, then traps. So there's 3 monsters, 1 spell, 1 trap. So that's pretty easy. So let's start with this. Because this is the beginning of the intro. So 3D slicer poly scanner. It's a light level 4 machine tuner effect monster, where this card has the effect where if this card has or is normal or special summon, you can declare one card type, monster, spell, or trap, look at your opponent's deck, and if you do, banish one card of that type, banish zone. Or banish one card from it of that type. Special summon one slicer token. Machine light level 1, attack 0, defense 0. Its name, original attack and defense, and its effects become that same as the card banished by this effect. You can only use this card for once per turn. So, yeah. So, and doing 2 effect monsters side by side. So, this one is 3D Slicer Block Filament. It's a light level 1 machine effect monster where you can banish this card from your hand. Or, no, you could special summon this card, I meant to say, just to clarify that up. By banishing one 3D Slicer card from your graveyard. Once per turn, you can target one monster in either player's banish zone or graveyard. This card turn gains that targeted level, type, and effect until the end of the turn. And if this card is used for a material for a 3D slicer monster that is like Fusion, Synchro, or XYZ summon, you can special summon one slicer token with the same level attack defense as the monster this card copied this turn. If this card is in your graveyard, you can, or except during the turn that this card was sent to there, and you can, it's a quick effect, so basically you can't use Ash Blossom on it or Effect Veiler. You can shuffle this card into your deck, activate 2 spell cards from or directly from your deck or hand to the graveyard. If you do, shuffle all of your opponent's cards from their banish zone and graveyard into the deck. You can only use this effect for once per turn. So its graveyard effect is basically like you could refill your opponent's deck. into it. So now let's get into the Synchro Monster. And the design is actually based on Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon that has been digitalized. Like, basically, if you ran the Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon into the 3D printer, this is what it would look like. So it's a $11 monster machine synchro effect monster, where it takes one 3D slicer tuner and one non-tuner slicer monster or token. If this card is synchro summoned using a token that was scanned from a pendulum monster, this card gains both that monster's pendulum effect and its monster effect. If this card battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent's is doubled. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in resolve to a 3D slicer monster's attack. This card is sent. If this card is sent to the grave, If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it during the next standby phase but its level becomes 5 until the end of the turn. So, yeah. So now we move on to spells. So, this one is 3D Slicer Reload. And you could see that Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon is getting 3D printed to become this. Right there. So, the target one monster your opponent... Target one of your opponent's monsters in the banish zone that was banished by the effects of the 3D Slicer card. Special summon it to your opponent's field in attack mode. That monster's effects are negated, and also it cannot be used as a material for fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link, and cannot be tributed immunity, basically. After this card resolves it, you can activate the scan effect of one 3D slicer monster. You control, target that special summon monster. You can only use this effect for once per turn. So basically, it's a monster reborn, but if your opponent needed something on their board, you could just be, and then we got this trap card where it's a continuous trap card where it's if you're so your opponent cannot activate card effects, cards or effects in the battle or banish zone that was banished from the deck. Once per turn, if a card or cards is banished from your deck by your opponent's card effects, you can target up to 3 cards of those banished cards, shovel them into the deck or back into the deck. Then you draw 1 card. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished, except during this card leaves the field or deck, you can shovel all cards from your banish zone and graveyard into the deck. Both players add 2 spells or trap cards from their decks to their hands. So basically, the moral of the story is that you never mess around with this cards. So the story of how these cards are made is actually there was this character named Jin, not the or Tim. Let's say Tim. Tim runs this deck, and because he loves to 3D print everything. So, yeah. Basically, the 3D slicing is his favorite part to do. And he was battling against Yuya. That's spelled with Y-U-Y-A. You know, the duelist. And so, yeah. And he ended up dueling the Yuya, and he used one of the cards, this one, and he selected monster, and he took should I say he took, sorry if I'm like what goes quiet, sorry, and I am human anyways. So, yeah. So he used this card to steal the Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon, and he turned it into basically the Wyvern version. 3D Slicer Pendulum Wyvern. because the token's name is actually is still slicer token, and it was used to do this. But the guy felt so bad that he even used his own spell card, and I am sorry that I pronounce it wrong. He used this spell card that he made before to use against to bring the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon back into the deck. Or back to the field. And yeah. So basically, yeah. So yeah. He summoned him because 7 plus 4 equals 11. I'm just trying to do my math in my head. Yeah. And so, yeah. So there's 2 dragons that have pendulum monsters in it. Hers in it. So, yeah. That's why this card has the effect where it has the pendulum monster effect. Like it gains the both pendulum monsters and also the like everything. If you know what I meant. In its wake. So the trap card protects protects all your monsters from cards like Necroface. These type effects or Eater of Millions. If you know what I meant. It's pretty crazy, I know, but hey, it's crazy. But it's just how things are. Now we move on to the Dino. Or Dingo. And I am picking one random card, and I'm picking Lizard Girl. And she's the Earth level 4 reptile tuner effect monster, where she has the effect where basically her effect is that if this card is normal summon, you can select one Dino play monster from your graveyard or banish zone, special summon it to your field in defense mode. If this card is used for a ritual, fusion, synchro, XYZ, or link summon for a Dino Play monster to your field, it gains this following effect for once per turn. This card cannot be targeted for attacks or by card effects, and if your opponent activates a monster's effects or card effects while this card is in your graveyard, you can, or it's a quick effect, so you can shuffle this card into the deck, negate that effect, and banish it to the banish zone. So, yeah, she's basically a card that is pretty powerful monster. Because if it goes into the synchro, or like if this card goes into like XYZ or something like this, you could basically protect it from any damage, if you know what I meant. So, yeah. It's crazy to think about. So, yeah. And there's one more. Because it could summon the monsters, like summons Crocodile, Throat Girl, Stand-in Chameleon. Let's do her because, yeah. Because if she was supposed to summon, you could add a spell card or trap card of this archetype to your hand. Your opponent cannot activate and resolve to this effect, activation. So, yeah. And then if she was used for a monster, it would be crazy to think about. But yeah. And yeah. So, because in the Dino Play thing, she gets stage fright. Neatness. And she needs a companion to, like, be with her at all times. And she chooses Chameleon to help her perform better. And, yeah. Each cards, like, both archetypes, they are separate, but I'm just picking them because I do love both archetypes. Like, Snapback Crocodile might be the most powerfulest one, but they're all powerful in their own way. But the Snapback Crocodile and you could tell that each one is wearing like costumes of those creatures. So, yeah. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah. I also hope that you find this archetype or both archetypes of dinosaurs and 3D slicers helpful. If so, please enjoy, and I'll keep you updated on it. So, I hope you guys have fun. And if you want me to do a whole custom character that uses these cards, this one and the other one, let me know in the comments below. So, peace out.